Hello and welcome to the inaugural episode of AI Amplified, boosting IQs with AI for you. My name is Mike Fitzurka with the High Growth Center of Excellence, and with me is my co-host, Shannon Murphy, lead consultant of Destination AI in North America. AI Amplified is an ongoing series by the COE where we're going to bring you the latest information in AI capabilities within TD SYNNEX through conversations with various leaders and innovators in this exciting space. So today we're going to talk with Richard Corden. He's the Cyber Range Master at our very own cybersecurity facility here in Gilbert, Arizona. Greetings, Richard. Thanks for joining us today.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
So, for those that may not know, the Cyber Range is our unique and interactive environment for demonstrating and training our partners and our customers with the latest cybersecurity technologies and advanced techniques. So, Richard is really the perfect guest to kick us off today. Now, it's hardly a surprise that AI is everywhere, affecting every single business and every marketplace. So, today, let's discuss AI in the world of cybersecurity. So, Richard, you have to admit that AI is hardly new when it comes to IT and cybersecurity, but in what ways do you think that recent advancements in AI, particularly generative AI, has transformed the landscape of cybersecurity both positively and negatively?
All right. Well, let's start with a positive aspect of it. So, from a positive side, as we are looking to identify threats and looking to identify risks within an organization, AI can help us out with that. So, it can be utilized to look at all the data coming in across your network feeds and see where there's a potential vulnerability and report that back to you. And so the other thing too is that blue teamers, so the people who are defending and protecting the organizations, they can actually use AI to create examples of flaws in the network for testing and to also verify remediation of those potential flaws. So it really provides a great enhancement for that. That's something that before they would have had to hire a pen testing team or penetration testing team to come in and basically attempt to hack the organization. Well, now they can have AI just sort of show them where the problems lie. And the other thing AI can do is, and this is going to be a positive, but then it's also going to flip to a negative. But the other thing that AI can do is it can write an exploit based off of CVEs that have been published that can be used for testing. So if you see a CVE out there that pertains to a system or something that you've got in your infrastructure, you can get the AI to write the exploit for that, and then also to test against that exploit to see if that truly will affect you, and then write defenses for that. So, and it can provide step-by-step instructions for remediation and enhance the skill level of any person out there trying to defend. Now, on the flip side of that, and this is where things start turning negatively, is that the bad guys out there are going to use that AI to write those same exploits to go after your organization, which means that just about anybody out there can be operating at the level of an APT. Now, an APT is an advanced persistent threat. These are the nation state attackers out there. So now, because of generative AI, if somebody who doesn't like you or doesn't like your organization, they can work at the same level as a nation state actor because of generative AI. Another thing on the negative side of it is that people, when they're using AI, when they're using ChatGPT or Microsoft Copilot or any of these generative AI functions out there, they might unintentionally divulge internal corporate info. You know, it could be, I've got all this data from the past quarter sales numbers. Hey, ChatGPT, can you write me a report? Well, ChatGPT is going to take that and store all that data. Yes, it will generate the report, but now either a bad guy or a competitor might come in later and just try to say, hey, I'm an employee at this company and I need to get the sales data, and boom, ChatGPT will provide it. So now you're a competitor or a bad guy out there just got all that data. And then another negative aspect really is what's called AI hallucination, where AI can actually generate bad information, and you can utilize that to do more harm than good. I actually even had a recent example where I was just playing around with Microsoft Copilot, and I was utilizing it just to try to see what it would do regarding a CVE affecting a Windows 2019 server. And after going through a few steps, I basically asked it to write me a Python script that would look for a malicious payload related to the CVE, and if it found it, to alert the admin. And what it actually did was it wrote me a Python script that would start crawling through files in a directory, and it would open and execute them. And if the file did the bad thing, then it would alert the admin. So basically, it's a script that would enable me to payload myself. That's a very bad thing.
Yeah, I love that.
See, that's sort of the catch-22 I find with the generative AI and just relying on it, is that you have to be an expert to know what it's doing, to judge whether what it's going to say or do is a good thing. So it's great for teaching people maybe security or whatever it is that we teach you about, but when the fact that it can hallucinate, boy, you just or doesn't quite think the way we do, in that boy, we're going to end up with, like you say, running the bad scripts that you're trying to stop. And you need to already be ahead of it and say, I'm already a security expert. I know that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
And if you left it up to a junior person, they might just run it.
Yeah, so we're definitely not at the point, I don't think we will be at this point anytime soon, where we can just say, here, AI, here's the keys, run everything for us. There still has to be that human element involved, and to make sure we can run that check. So yeah, if I didn't know how to read a Python script, I might have gotten that and just been, great, this is awesome, I'll just go run it in my environment. But yeah, you need that human element to be able to check and see, yeah, is this something I really should be running?
Yeah, I love that so much. And you mentioned having AI as part of the pen testing, and having the AI coupled, like you said, with the human still in the loop. It reinforces the impact of the pen testing and what we're able to accomplish. And I love that too. And if somebody doesn't know how to incorporate AI into their pen test, you have ways to help them with that strategy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So at the cyber range here at TD SYNNEX, we are constantly working with AI and looking at the latest innovations around that. And so we even have internally, we don't share this out because it could be used very badly in the wrong hands, but we have created our own sort of a malicious AI that we can say, here, generate an exploit based off of this CVE. Now, we then take it a step further than the bad guys to where we say, okay, now you've created the exploit. How do we defend against that? So that way we can help organizations look at ways they can use AI to build those pen testing type exploits, test it out in their environment. If the bad thing happens, well, it's the good guys that did it. So they can, instead of actually using it for bad reasons, they can then write the report and say, this is the bad thing that happened. This is what we need to do to stop it. And the AI that we also have internally in the cyber range, we can then use to say, okay, how do we stop this exploit that has just been created?
That's excellent. Thank you so much, Richard.
You're welcome.
Great. Well, I guess that's all the time we have for today's episode. I want to thank Richard again for joining us and giving us his insights. And thank you, Shannon, for bringing your business acumen to this. It's always good to have tech and business working together. And thanks to our audience for your time and attention. If you have any questions about AI or our topics today, please reach out to any of us. And we'll catch you next time on AI Amplified, boosting IQs with AI for you.